This is the fruit of one of the most important plant in of India, according to me. Top 10 or 20 plants, and it's called Agnimantha in Sanskrit. Agnimantha means that in earlier days they used to dry the dried roots. They used to rub and produce the spark for starting fires before this matchbox and lighter and all came. So it's called Agnimantha, and it's been used since ancient times. And long ago, humans seems to have discovered its many uses, and it's been described in ancient Charaka Samhita and all 2000-year-old texts and all. And it has some remarkable features that makes it an essential plant for all serious gardeners and farmers and all. Some of the important features, it contains thousands of chemicals first of all. So the scientists are trying to isolate those chemicals and all, and it also contains natural pesticides, so it never gets attacked by pests. And it's a small shrub, about a large shrub or small tree, some 5 or 10 feet it will grow, 10 to 15 feet, and in good location, if you look after it and all, it may grow up to 20 feet. And leaves and all are very plain and nondescript. So to identify, one is you can have a good look at these leaves. The tender leaves are having a slight serrated, this thing is there, then finally it becomes smooth. Then flowers are very tiny, not at all showy, but they attract huge number of butterflies and these wasps. That is, one of the reason is this Agnimantha contains so many useful alkaloids and all kind of chemicals that some of the wasps particularly, they come here to gather some of those chemicals what they need, they get through the nectar. Then some species of butterfly also come because of the special constituents of that flowers, chemical constituents. And then so once you have these plants in your garden, they will attract wasps, insect eating wasps. That is, many of these wasps, they are excellent at getting rid of caterpillars and all kind of pests that come and eat vegetable crops and all. So once you have a few of these Agnimantha in your garden, it flowers quite long periods of time, and when it flowers, those wasps come searching for it, and then once they discover that there is a nice plant, they will make nests also somewhere nearby, and then they will very nicely clean up the caterpillars and insects and control the population of them. So from a gardening perspective, this Premna species, this Agnimantha, is very good because it will give protection to all your other plants, whatever is there. Then also it's insect repellent and all. Normally, if you have this plant, and overall insect attack and all decreases in a garden or in an area. Then also it is planted, it's a good idea to have it next to dairies and all, where you are keeping cows and all, because there also the insect attack and all will be less and pests will decrease just by having this plant. Then it is called Premna ceratifolia in Ayurveda, I mean in botanical language. Then in Hindi it's called Arni, in Sanskrit, Kannada and other languages it's called Agnimanta. Then the roots are the main Ayurvedic part, and it has a huge number of properties. This Premna species, the roots, and I'll describe some of the properties what they've written about it in that Kotakal Arya Vaidyasala book. And it is astringent, bitter, acrid, sweet, thermogenic, anodyne, anti-inflammatory, alexithric, cardiotonic, alterant, expectorant, depurative, digestive, carminative, stomachic, laxative, anti-worm, antibacterial and tonic. So huge number of applications are there, and it is one of the important Dashamula herb of Ayurveda, and it is used in all kind of Ayurvedic preparations like Chavanprash and all those Mahanarayana Taila and so many Rasayanas and Kashayas and all. Extensively used. You can't do Ayurveda in fact without this Agnimanta, because the Dashamula is having so many applications in all kind of Ayurvedic preparations. So for a Ayurvedic garden, herbal garden, it's an important plant. Then leaves also, it has many uses. You can look up in the internet or ask some Ayurvedic doctor, they will tell you. Then I've grown this plant for about almost 20-25 years. I first got one from in Bangalore. I've grown it, and it's very hardy, it never dies. And it's easy to propagate also. If you get one plant, then you can take cuttings, like say this, like this small finger, this size cuttings if you take, you can make easily, it will sprout, new plants will come. So it's easy to multiply. Then it is essential for biodiversity gardens, organic gardens, butterfly gardens, then organic farm, and if you're having animals, dairy and all, and even in ordinary home gardens, it's an excellent plant to have. You will be rewarded with less pests. Then because those wasps and all come and start controlling them, and then it attracts a lot of butterflies, so you will get regular viewing of butterflies because of them. And one more thing I noticed, it doesn't, in Bangalore, my plants have never fruited. They just flower and drop off. But here in Dakshina Kannada on west coast, it is fruiting also. So probably this is the original habitat. Then also I was looking up about this plant, and it is occurring in quite a wide range, including some islands, and then all the way up to Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia and all. And in Singapore they are using it in butterfly gardens and all. Then also it is very, very versatile. I read that it does well in brackish water and seaside places also. Then you don't have to water it and all. It can take care of itself. One of those hardy species. And it can very well be positioned, since it's not showy, attractive and all. You can put it in some inconspicuous corner somewhere, or you can put it along the hedges, borders, like that, and 3-4 of them in a row will attract steady supply of wasps and butterflies to your garden. Then if you know how to use, it seems the leaves also are edible, though I haven't tried it. Then how to recognize it? One is the leaves itself. See, the leaves, they have this mild, that kind of a serrated thing is there, and then when the leaves become fully mature, it decreases. That's one thing. Then when you crush the leaves, it has a kind of cockroach smell, like repulsive. So if you come across this plant and you want to make sure, you just take one leaf like that and crush it and smell, you will get that kind of a stench. So that smell is what many chemicals are involved in that, and hundreds of alkaloids and chemicals have been also isolated from it. And also it's our Indian plant, and so therefore it very nicely fits into any Indian garden. It can be grown in a pot also. You can do bonsai also with it. So it is, if any of serious gardeners, farmers and all, this is an essential plant. Go and search for it and acquire one and keep one in your garden, and it will do lot of good for you, this Agnimantha plant, you and your surroundings. Then many more things are there about it, but already video has got very long, so I'll close it. And so that's a bit about this Agnimantha.